Time for the Tesla and Palantir weekly update, and going to start with Tesla as usual. So one thing I wanted to point out to you guys is the Fibonacci from the all-time high down to the low back in January of 2023. What did price do this week? It went down to the 886 and hit the 378.85 perfectly, and almost recovered back towards the all-time high level, the 414.50. But it didn't close above that level, and it's okay. And I wanted to show you something that is super important. So since it broke out on the week of the 9th of December, it has closed every single weekly candle above this all-time high weekly candle close, and that weekly candle close was at 407.36. So every single weekly candle close has closed above it. Do you know what that means? That means it's a breakout, got rejected, and it's a back test. It's a back test over and over and over again, retesting that candle body, the weekly candle close high, right? So it's still basically another previous all-time high candle close, right, from back in November of 2021. So this is still super bullish. And I want to show you another set of Fibonacci that happened as well. And it's from this high back in January 2021 and from the low in March of 2021. And I'm going to show you exactly what happened in the past. And we can see that all price did was go back up to this 2.272 fib 453.16 and then get rejected and then back test this 1.618 374.48, and it wicked through because price got down to 373.04 and it held perfectly. So not only that, it's a breakout and a back test of this 374 zone as well. And not only that, when we go to the angles chart here, I'm going to show you this angles chart for, I haven't deleted it like I said I was going to, right? I said maybe it's no use anymore, but actually it still is. It's still of a use. So we can see, taking off that fib, that it's also a confluence of a back test of this blue angle sloping down, right? It was a huge breakout and then it back tested that blue angle. And with all that confluence in the 370s, it's no wonder why price held there, because it's looking very, very nice. This is the daily chart. Let's just go to the weekly chart just so we can see it more clearly, right? We can see it perfectly. And it even closed the weekly candle back above the top angle again. So pretty soon, I'm not going to be able to need this chart anymore, because it's just a perfect back test of that angle, perfect back test of all those Fibonacci levels, and things look great for a continuation higher. And next, I want to show you what happened with the monthly Bollinger Band this week for Tesla. So we can see that all price did is it went back down to the top of the monthly Bollinger Band at 380.62, and it held. And we can see that it's still expanding, right? The mouth is still opening. So it's still riding the top of the band as a support level, which is super bullish. So we have our back test, and now we even have confirmation, I think, that everything kind of wants to hold in that 370 level. And with today's weekly candle close, I think it's even more confluence that things want to continue higher. So a great back test on the Bollinger Band, and let's see how this month develops. But I think it can reclaim a lot of this wick that we saw last month because of this perfect back test already. So I think that was a necessary process to get kind of that slingshot up towards the upper resistance levels up here, maybe back to the 450s, the 460s, or even the 470s above. And lastly, I want to show you on Tesla is the channel. So I did mention this before to you guys on a morning live stream, and I think this channel is a perfect representation of what's to come. So this held this channel as support right here. We can see that it wicked down nicely through it, but it closed the week back above. So that means it's 5 weeks in a row above this channel, which was a previous support right here. You can see right here, a previous support, then it flipped it to resistance, and then it was a breakout, and now a back test flipping it back to support. So if this maintains a support, the top of that channel does sit over 500, right? It sits about 550, maybe if it's later in time, it can be 580s or 600. It just depends, right? So this is more confirmation, I think, that Tesla wants to go much higher. And all that was needed is that liquidity grab underneath to take people's shares, to grab that liquidity in order to just launch it back towards the resistance levels above. And next is Palantir, and Palantir gonna be focusing on this Fibonacci extension level. And guess what happened? It closed 3 weeks in a row above this 78.13. We have a weekly counter close here, here, here. So it looks like it's kind of building a base now on top of this 78.13 in preparation to try to go higher. So what's the next level of resistance? It could be $100, maybe 104.21 right up there. So the goal is to continue to close weekly candles back above this 78.13. Sure, during the week it can wick below, but it looks like it really wants to continue higher. And when we go to the log scale chart right here, we can see that it's still just trending nicely closer and closer to the blue level. And the blue level up here does sit in the 130s, right? So I think this could be the target later on this year, just to gravitate higher and higher. And the main focus and nothing else really matters except for maintaining this 78.13 level. And if it ever does break, we still have the linear scale support below it at the 69.15 right there. So this is maybe the worst case scenario that I can see now for Palantir, because it just looks like it wants to keep building a base at a higher level and eventually go towards the hundreds of dollars per share.